St. Gabriel?
Well, my mom was one of like the groundbreakers, and so I kind of grew up with the church, I guess you could say. You know, we started off going from like middle school to high school to school, bouncing around. You know, so I've been here since the beginning, seen it all, seen it grow.
Yeah.
I remember Burks Elementary, like we always go early and get the front row seat right there in front of like the altar, and it was, I don't know, we kind of grew up with it.
Yeah. Front.
My mom, my mom and party, you know, she wants to be front and center. She needs to take her pictures. She wants to see it grow. She's been a big influence on me, you know, and how we've grown, like church and all. I think it's important for me to work just because like I've been such a part of it, you know. It's always been a constant in my life. Like it's personal to me, you know. The church, actually growing up with it and like seeing it grow and seeing what it's become to be, you know, and just what it is now from going from, you know, bouncing around schools. It's important because it's personal to me. I can relate to it, and you know, it's always been there for me. Yeah, like my favorite mass was probably the one when my dad came through the RCIA process, and he was, you know, accepted into the church, and I was a server of that mass. So I was kind of not up there. I was kind of up there to see it, and it was nice for me. You know, just he did it for himself, and it was a neat experience just to see that and have him go through that. I just try to, you know, do whatever I can. You know, God's given up so much for me. You know, what can I do to give back? And you know, whatever I can do, whether it be like go to the youth group and help out, get people excited about certain things, get things going with that, or coming to mass and participating and showing people, you know, or like giving whatever I can to give, you know, to help raise, you know, funds for getting a new buildings going up, we got our personal church set up, you know.
Tell me.
I mean, it's not giving because you have to give, it's giving because like you want to give, and you get, you know, it feels good to give because for me, you know, giving things is better than receiving because you can see like how it affects other people and as a whole, and that's like a lot better than, you know, just having something. Yeah, you see the benefits afterwards. Like we have this, you know, all these buildings going up around here, and we see this community being built right here, and it's really worth it once you see it in the long run. Sometimes it's surreal, you know, looking back from like where I've sat before, listening to, you know, Father Kelly and our priests and all where I've sat before and listened to homilies and taken communion, and where I had first communion on the stage of Caldwell, you know. So it's been an experience, and it's looking back, and it's really nice. We have somewhere to, you know, sit down every week now and have a permanent church, and soon, you know, one coming up. You know, just whatever we can do to just become more community. You know, we have all these stuff coming up. We have a permanent school coming up. You know, just like whatever we can do just to show like how, you know, how we reflect God's and His sacrifice. You know, for me, like what keeps my faith alive and what keeps me going sometimes, you know, is like the army of the Lord, the whole, you know, the Ephesians, where like you pick up your sword and like your helmet and your shield and you get after it, you know, and like that's kind of like what we need to do sometimes, you know, as a community, just to, you know, keep pushing, you know, don't give up, and we can get there, you know, if we work together, you know, as one unit, you know, I think we can get to where we need to be. I mean, I love this place, you know. I've grown up with it, and it's done so much for me, you know, whatever we can do, you know, to give back, you know, it's well worth it, you know. I've seen it grow from, you know, little church to, you know, what it is now with over, you know, how many families we have, and, you know, we're busting out of this place on, you know, masses, and, you know, we need this new church, and we need to keep moving forward, you know, and it's well worth it. I can guarantee that. I've seen it.
This place beyond college, beyond.
Yeah, I kind of think like, you know, how my church, I guess it could be a comparison, you know, how my church, you know, through college and how that's going to compare to this one. You know, it's a high standard, you know, from what all we've had in the last 11 and a half years, you know. It's going to be a high standard for me to step, like my church, you know, in college step up to. So I guess it'll all be a comparison, you know. I'm going to try to come back whenever I can, you know, this is home for me. This is where I grew up.